Hello again, I'm Tripp Rogers, and this is Tripp's Take. Yeah, it's been a while. About a month ago, I've talked about Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I do believe I called that game correctly. Yes, indeed. Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champs. But we move on to other stuff. And, a couple things have been floating around my mind. I am one of those people now who takes Mounjaro, which is the weight loss drug, Ozempic, that kind of thing. And it's funny because the other day, someone on social media said anyone who takes it is a loser, and you can't lose weight, and it's a shot for the masses, and it's just one of those fads. And I kind of sat there and I thought about that, and I'm like, my first thought was, who the hell are you? I'm not going to even dignify by mentioning and identifying this person. She is known because, she went out with somebody. That's it. A social influencer. So, but I thought about what was my reason for doing this. And I've lost like 40 pounds. I'm not going to lie to you. I've kind of slowed at this point, and it's kind of, hit or miss. I mean, I'd like to think I could lose some more weight, and I kind of readjusted my goal, to be honest with you. But part of this is you have to want to do something. And losing weight is so hard. It is unbelievable. And of course, they say you should weigh yourself every day. So that is, a non-self-fulfilling prophecy, because some days you lose weight, some days you gain weight. Depends on how you eat, depends on what you eat, that kind of thing. There's so many things about it. And it's a mind game. It is a mind game. Now, I have some friends who have undergone the extreme weight loss with the operations, the band and the gastric bypass, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, it works for a while and then it doesn't. And they put all the weight back on. And I know a couple of friends who really have had some medical issues when they've tried to do it a second time. And I understand it's got to come from within your mind. But really, is that what you really want in life? And listen, I will admit I've had trouble with my weight for a long time, and I don't feel good about myself, but I feel good now, and that's why I take the shots. Yes, it does cost me money, but again, in my mind, it's got me going. And believe it or not, I am not eating as much. That's the big thing. It curbs your appetite. But what's right for me is maybe not right for you. Now, I've lost weight the old-fashioned way, and I've dropped some weight. In fact, Sandy and I went on a diet a few years ago, and I dropped a lot of weight, and people were surprised. But, it's one of those things where it's tough because it is something you have to do for the rest of your life. Weight loss, just as drug addiction, alcohol addiction, this is an everyday thing, and there are going to be things that are going to throw you off the bandwagon. And I mean, let's face it, having, issues with eating too much food is an acceptable vice, and it's what a lot of people do. I mean, there's emotional eating, that kind of thing. But if there's something that can help you, I'll go ahead and try it. And until somebody screams at me and says, this is going to kill me, I'm going to keep doing it. And I don't need anybody else to call me a loser because I have to take a shot and do drugs to lose weight. Listen, that's what science is all about. That's what medicine is all about. That's how we improve our lives. So thumbs up for Ozempic and for Mounjaro. And anybody who sits there and complains about it, I'm sorry. Are there side effects? I'm sure there are. There are some side effects. I will admit that. But listen, I'll deal with the side effects as long as I can lose weight and I can feel good about myself. And after all, isn't that the bottom line? You want to feel good about yourself. And I feel good you're here. Don't forget, we have Tripp's Take, which is, again, kind of a monthly thing right now. But I've got some other podcasts I want to talk about. First of all, we've got this new a music trivia challenge. It's called Trippin' Up. Phil Yale, college buddy, put this together. He and I get together and we sit there and we try. He tries to stump me. He gives me a list of things and I got to see if I can figure it out. Trippin' Up, you can hear on WTRS radio following the Greatest Hits USA show, which is on throughout the weekends. And it's also available on Spotify and YouTube. And I tell you, if you get a chance, check it out. I might have some fun playing along with us. The other podcast I talk about is the Fantasy Sultans. Mike Sheck and I, oh baby, the NFL free agency heating up. And of course, next month will be the draft. And they're talking about the possibility of adding a Thanksgiving Eve game. The NFL is like a fungus. It's spreading all over. But it's all about money, folks. And that's something interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about that. We'll be back next month with our pre-draft podcast. And of course, there's an offshoot, Sunday with the Sultans, which is a radio show that airs on Fox Sports New Jersey radio stations and foxsportsnewjersey.com. We will be back with that in August, and we'll get you ready for the fantasy football season in 2026. Well, that is Tripp's Take for March the 13th. Ooh, feel lucky? 2026. I'd love to hear your comments and questions about my show. Please feel free to email me, trippstake@gmail.com. If you like the music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I got a station for you, WTRSradio.com, powered by Live365.com. Give it a listen. I think you'll enjoy it. And, of course, we've got some great shows on there, including my show, which is Music Yearbook, which is also syndicated on other radio shows and streaming stations around the country. Join us again for another edition of Tripp's Take. Until then, I am Tripp Rogers. Thank you so much for joining me. Make it a great one.